Thank you very much indeed.
You need to balance us out.
So, I must admit, I can't remember the precise title of this panel, but it's World Affairs. Let's call it that. And for World Affairs, we have a fantastic panel to discuss it all. Straight from one of the world's, unfortunately, one of the world's hotspots, we have Lana Nusseibeh, Minister of State for the UAE. We have Subramanian Jaishankar, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for India, one of the kind of most respected voices on the diplomatic planet, and Elina Valtonen, the Finnish Foreign Affairs Minister. So thank you all very much indeed. Mr. Jaishankar, if I could start with you. I think India's position, everybody's obviously one of the world's big powers, so what you do matters. And in Europe, people have been a bit equivocal about India's position on the Russia-Ukraine war. Why aren't you more committed to the Ukraine fight? Now you have another big war close at hand in Iran and so on. Explain to the audience here, you're sitting in Delhi, how do you see the challenges posed by those two conflicts and India's national interests and how you're trying to steer them?
Mostly countries are committed to wars they fight and are equivocal about ones which they observe, as a general proposition.
Yeah.
So I can think of a lot of wars close to us where the rest of the world is quite equivocal. In this particular case, here's the challenge. You have, for the sake of simplicity, 4 parties, which is US, Israel, Iran. I'm using the Gulf as a part, though I accept they have a very differentiated position. And we have extremely good, extremely strong relations with all of them. So when you have then that situation, clearly your response...
So to clarify, that includes Iran. You regard yourself as having good, strong relations with Iran?
Yes, we have good relations, very substantial relations with Iran.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the same. I'm not saying the 4 relationships are of the same quality. I mean, for example, clearly where the Gulf is concerned, we have 10 million Indians living in the Gulf. The largest number of Indian nationals who live outside India are actually in the UAE.
Right.
The Gulf countries are our primary energy suppliers. Many of them would be among our top 10 trading partners. I mean, if I use UAE as an example, you have a big community, huge trade, significant energy relationship, and in fact, much more than that, close defense and security relationship as well. So the challenge is in a quadrilateral situation where you have equities, arguably of a different order in each account. How do you manage them while addressing this conflict?
Yeah.
And they are,
And are you feeling the domestic consequences of the war already? Because I think India's been unusually vocal in saying, look, the rising energy prices are driving people into poverty.
Yes, because, when you are a low income or a low middle income country, then as indeed happened after the Ukraine war as well, an increase in energy prices hits a low-income country much more than it does a middle-income or a high-income country. And
are you just stuck in the role of kind of frustrated observer, or is there much you can do to try to help?
Well, I think at this time, much of the world is stuck in the position of a frustrated observer. But a lot of countries are trying to do what they can in this situation. Yeah. So it's not for want of trying. I mean, I'm talking about us alone, but I think, certainly there are not that many countries who would have relations, decent relations with all the parties involved. So clearly, we've sort of reasoned with the countries. We've been in touch with them. We hope very much that the U.S.-Iran negotiation leads to an early outcome.
Yeah.
And the continuation of the fighting is creating problems.
Yeah, and we're in Finland, so I have to obviously ask you about the Russia-Ukraine war. I think in Europe there was a feeling that India adopted what we would regard as a kind of moral equivalence between the two sides, that you were saying, well, it's a big shame, but maybe they should stop, but you were too sympathetic towards Russia, too willing to buy oil from Russia. So how would you explain that position to the people here?
Well, I'd make two observations. I buy oil. I buy oil based on cost and availability. So at that point of time, much of the oil available on the market was Russian, because Europeans were essentially buying up the Middle East oil, which was our traditional supply. So circumstances pushed us in a certain direction. But since you spoke about moral ambiguity, I would say this, no European country has been attacked with Indian weapons. I wish I could say that for European weapons vis-a-vis India. So keep that in mind.
Be more explicit so that people understand what you're saying.
Europeans sell weapons which are used to attack India. Not now, for many, many years. We Indians have never done anything to endanger Europe. So I think that's a reasonable point.
Okay.